Let's see. Almost there. All right, let's get this going. Let's see. Here we go. All right, everyone, we are finally back. Dodger Dogs is finally back. But guys, so once I posted this on my Instagram story, I had to caption it like, because of course it was a little slow season with the pod. Many things came up, but hey, by the grace of God, we're back. But hey, like I said though, when this podcast needs to be revived, you have to be back like you never left, which means you have to bring someone special, someone that has high honor in this beautiful game that God created. So, guys, to not make this, I don't want to take too much time, but he's gonna have most of the floor. But guys, check this out. I have the one and only. Guys, check this out. He has the resume is like this big, all right? So, so check this out, guys. So we have not just former big leaguer, we have also MLB hitting coach, world champion as well as a player. Anything you could think of. We have the one and only Mr. Coach Turner Ward. Coach Ward, it's an honor to have you here. Most people know who you are already if they're OG real Dodger fans. But Coach, how you doing? It's an honor to have you on here. How you doing? How's everything?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm doing great here in LA, Lower Alabama. So
There
I'm
we
doing
go.
good, having fun, and enjoying life.
That's awesome. That's good. That's good. That's beautiful to hear. So, Coach, again, I just want to give you a quick shout out because, guys, of course, Coach Ward is taking the time to do this. He's again very, very great person in this beautiful game that God created. Of course, guys, most of my generation, I guess you could say the 2000s era, the ones that were born 2000s. This guy is a big part of my childhood when it comes to the coaching. All right. So, maybe you remember him. Of course, like me growing up, of course, I remember Coach Ward when he was coaching with the Dbacks. Coach, if I'm not mistaken, the Diamondbacks were your first big league team that you coached, right? First big league
Yeah,
team?
it was. I
Okay.
coached in, I coached in the minor leagues.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And so right here at home in Mobile, Alabama, the Diamondbacks had a AA team here.
Yep.
So moved on from there to the Dodgers.
That's awesome. And then from there, of course, now, of course, we're gonna talk about the Dodgers mostly, of course. But after the Dodgers, he ended up getting 1 year with the Reds in 2019. I do remember that. And then I believe you took a 2 year gap, 2 year break. Not too sure how it worked with you. Maybe we can get into that. And then if you fast forward to that, you were with the Cardinals for 3 years. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it was your first year with the Cardinals. You were the assistant hitting coach, and then the last 2 years you were there from 23 to 24. You were their head hitting coach, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, good, good, cool. So, guys, check this out, guys. Come on. You guys are already hearing Diamondbacks, Dodgers, Cardinals. You guys can already think about all the stars he's coached, he's led. So we're gonna get into that in a bit. But Coach, check this out, Coach. So to make it simple as a little icebreaker, I like to always ask my guest on here all the time. Very easy, simple question when it comes to baseball. Not just the ordinary, like, when did you get that dream to start playing baseball, but kind of like a little easier switch up because there was a little article I read, so make it easy, short, sweet, simple. Who was the player that made you fall in love with baseball as a kid? That made you, you know what? I got to fulfill this dream. I got to go how far I can go. Who was that player? And I expect that I know who it is, but I want you to let the people know who that
Well,
was for
I
you.
mean, from kind of growing up, my uncle kind of challenged me to be a switch hitter. Said, being a right-handed hitter,
Yep.
was going to be tough at, the next levels and stuff. So I became a switch hitter. And the main reason was through Mickey Mantle. I
There we
didn't get a
go.
chance to watch Mickey Mantle. I just knew of him. He was had an autograph session right here in Mobile, Alabama when I was a young kid. I got a hat over here in my office right now that Mickey Mantle signed on his New York Yankee hat. But that was really kind of the inspiration for me to be a switch hitter.
Mhm. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's really, really good. So check us out. Yeah. So we got Mickey Mantle, and I do remember seeing an article. I was doing my research, this whole week, once we planned this out, doing some research, just in case for some little notes. I remember seeing that you could tell them real quick as well that you were even able to witness the chase of Hank Aaron right before he hit that record that when you were a kid, you got to catch a game of one of his homers. I believe it was the 710th home run, I believe.
Yeah,
Just,
that was a really another pivotal moment.
yeah.
I'd never been to a major league game before in my
Mhm.
life. My dad took us out of school, so me, my older brother, my younger brother, and he had us out in left field. And Hank Aaron was closing in on this record that was said to never be broken, right? And so we're out in left field, and every time Hank Aaron took a swing, the whole stadium would just lights
Yeah.
flashes,
Big
everywhere.
time.
So he hit a ball, man. He hit it out there in left field, and me and my brothers are out there. My dad's got us all spread out and everything. And I can remember that ball. None of us caught that ball, of course, but I think, and I put this before in the article, I feel like that's where I caught my dream.
That's awesome.
It's like
That's awesome.
It was like such a pivotal moment, and I was actually able to share that with Hank Aaron a lot of years later because he's from Mobile,
Yeah,
Alabama,
that's true. Yeah.
and I coached the Mobile Bay Bears, hitting coach and manager there, and so I got to share that dream to how his record and him chasing that record was a huge moment for me, wanting to accomplish the dream of being in a major league player.
That's awesome. That's really sick to hear, man. Because oh man, it's like, guys, it's Hank Aaron. Come on, it's Hank Aaron. Like you guys know who that is, of course. To make it short, sweet, simple. But check us out, coach. So check us out real quick too. So like you said, you're from Alabama. So and because this right here is a really good inspiration to people that more than likely are win this route as well. Because if I'm mistaken from the research I got, you started playing college, junior college, correct? Junior college
Yes.
JUCO, and
Mhm.
then you transitioned to the University of South Alabama. And
Correct.
University of South Alabama, you guys got some pretty good alumni there, some pretty good solid alumni. So check us out, coach, because um anyone that's watching this right now, I know it's a simple question you hear a lot, but what is the key to JUCO? Is there anything wrong with playing JUCO ball to get recruited more? How was that process for you, and how did you like it? How was it for you?
For me, I came out of high school. I was 5'11" and
Wow.
160 pounds.
Wow.
155 maybe, and
Yeah, yeah.
so I hadn't matured yet. I
Mhm.
mean, there was no Division I schools looking for
Yeah.
me. There
Yeah,
was
yeah.
not many JUCOs was looking,
Mhm.
for me. My brother played a year ahead of me, and he played at his JUCO, and I think more because of that I got this opportunity. Um, I think the big part of it is, of course, just going somewhere where you can play. You get better
Mhm.
by playing, and I don't care where that is. There's a lot of different avenues that guys can take to help try to accomplish their dream. But for me, I was relentless at the work of
There we go.
trying to put it in, and getting to the next level. So even going all the way back to high school, I used to sign everybody's yearbook. You know how you get that yearbook and everybody's
Yeah,
asking
yeah,
you.
yeah.
And I would always sign it. Every single person I'd sign it. Turner Ward, number 16. I'd draw a little baseball and a bat and on there, and then I'd say, "See you when I'm in the big leagues." I mean,
That's
so
awesome.
even way back then, just the goal of wanting to do that, the goal of relentlessly in pursuit of that was a driving force for me.
That's awesome. I love to hear that, man. I love to hear that because I'm not sure if it was the same rule back in the day, but because transition to right now, I know in the big leagues, in order to be eligible for the MLB draft, you could at least just have 1 year of JUCO, or of course the 3 years of university ball. I'm not sure if it was like that back in the day as well, just 1 year of JUCO, or I'm not sure how was that back in the day.
Now, back then, honestly, we could have got drafted even in the fall. They had the
Oh, of
fall
course,
draft.
yeah,
I mean, so
yeah.
you could have got drafted then. So I mean, with my freshman year, had a
Mhm.
great year. And, nobody looking for me. Nobody knowing who I was. To my sophomore year, to where basically had offers all over the country. And so I had most major every SEC school. I just had a lot of opportunity. But my wife was going, or my girlfriend at the time was going to the University of South Alabama,
Oh,
and that's
there we
where I
go.
went.
Hey, hey, might as well. It's perfect timing. Hey, play ball there. Go get more love there. So that's how it is. That's awesome. That's awesome. And guys, let's check this out. What's crazy too, because like I said earlier, at the University of South Alabama, there's some pretty good alumni there. Check us out. Like, of course, you guys know, guys. Crazy story. This is it's crazy how God works. Check us out, guys. Not only was he teammates with him in college, he ended up being able to be teammates with him in the big leagues as well. Of course, you guys know already Luis Gonzalez. You got to be teammates with him as well. Tell us that real quick, man. How was that being able to be teammates with him in college? And then, man, it's crazy how God works again. And you guys end up being teammates in the big leagues for a little bit. How was that
Well,
like for you guys?
well, not just that. Of course, that was great. Lou was a freshman. I was a junior.
Yeah,
He was, man. You could just tell he was going to be some kind of hitter.
yeah,
His freshman year, but not just even like Louis, but playing against like Lance Johnson and coming back
yeah,
into the winter and training with him. Man, he really kind of help pave the way for me to learn more how to train and just be um, probably overtraining, because he really kind of he got every bit out of his ability, and that's what I wanted to do. So Lance Johnson was also a pivotal person through all that.
That's awesome. I like to hear that. That's good. That's good. And then not just Luis Gonzalez, so these are some other rest alumni. So for you guys that are watching, the young ones like me, I mean, Coach Ward is young too, but like me in our generation, it's
I'm
literally
old.
like, because check this out. So like another from our childhood, of course, some alumni that came out of there is, of course, you guys remember they are watching. You guys remember Juan Pierre? He was part of there too. Then David Freeze was part of course, our childhood as well. And then not just more, a little more not up more childhood for me, but our generation. I mean, we could talk about it a bit too. Brendan Donovan. He came out of there too. And of course, I know Brendan Donovan is one of your disciples, when it comes to the hitting lab. I know that too. How about that? About that? Because you and Brendan Donovan go back with the Cardinals, and I see some of your videos as well. You get to work with them too in the offseason sometimes, right? So how's that relationship with you and Brendan? Since the same college, then being able to, transition to the same big league team.
I think just the connection too. He's an Alabama guy. We kind of
Yeah.
connected right off, and everything. And he FaceTimed me the other night. When he got traded and
Yeah. To
everything.
Seattle.
So,
Yeah.
of course, I love all these guys that I'm able to train with and work with and walk alongside with. It's more than coaching to me. It's a mentorship. So
Mhm.
I enjoy that part of it. So Donnie's come here a couple of times this winter. I went to his place. He's about 45 minutes from me, so
So
it's
that's
a
that's
kind
right
of an
there.
easier way to kind of do it. But you mentioned a lot of great names there. John Lieber was there. I actually played
Mhm.
with John Lieber in Pittsburgh. He's another one. Of course, there's a lot of good players. I was able to coach David Freeze because he came to LA that
Yep.
short
That's what we're saying
stint.
too. Yep. That too. Yep.
And
Exactly. Yeah.
probably witness him the one of the greatest battle ABs I've ever seen in my career. He led off the game in St. Louis, 17 pitches, double. I mean,
Yep.
I've never seen a guy go 17 pitches before, and him to rip a double. But no, a lot of great memories, a lot of great players that I've been blessed to be around.
That's awesome. Literally, like you beat me. You jumped the gun. Like I was like, I wonder if he's gonna talk about that. And of course, guys, I'm telling you, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. All these stars you got to coach too when he was with the Dodgers. But check this out, coach. Check this out. You're gonna love this, all right? Because I had to give you your flowers as well. I have my notes right here, guys. Not just he was a big leaguer, of course, Coach Ward, but I have this little resume of awards as a coach of to make it make sense. All the awards players that he's coached that they end up being able to get. Check us out, coach. You ready for this? I'm gonna just rapid fire real quick. So check us out. You have so many players that you coached that ended up becoming all stars, like Goldie, Miguel Montero, young AJ Pollock. Then when you go to the Dodgers, of course, you got Siegs, JT, Belly, and that 1 year too, Matt Kemp, his last year with the Dodger. Then transition to the St. Louis Cardinals. You got Arenado, and of course, even Albert Pujols. And then not just that, you got even the Hank Aaron Award. You got Goldie, and then you got transition to Silver Slugger. You got Goldie again. You got Seager, Arenado, and then not just we go to the MVPs. You got the NLCS co-MVP that 1 year, the 2017 year. You got CT3 and JT, and then Belly the following year, NLCS MVP, and then Goldie NL MVP, and with the Cardinals. So seeing that, coach, do you ever think like, dang, that's crazy because how does that make you feel? That because you're a big role of that, don't you? You're a big role part of that. So like you said earlier, how you're just a mentor. What was your
Oh,
biggest tip, biggest strategies you'd always give them, like easy, short, sweet, simple? Like what was your approach to them? What would you how did you lead those guys? Because it worked big time. All those awards I just named you. How was
I
that like?
think I don't want to definitely in my position. You take none of the credit and all of the blame, right? I mean, that's kind of how it, and I love that too, because no matter what I say or whatever with these guys, or how I communicate or talk, it really is all on them. It's like they're the ones making these adjustments, and they're the ones that are going up to the plate. I just feel blessed that I've been around a lot of great players, man. I mean, that Dodger team, that young Corey Seager and Jock, I don't want to
Yeah.
forget about those guys,
Yeah.
just so many people, players that I've been around and just spoiled in a sense of who I get to go to work with every single day. And I never took it for granted, and I still don't. I probably actually enjoy it more now looking back and go, man, look at these great guys, look at these great players and look how they struggled and got through it. And hitting so hard. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, we say it so much, it's almost like it's watered down because it's the toughest thing in sports. It really is. And so to watch these guys and help them through struggles and watch them make the accomplishments. Not only that, because I see them as young players, but then having kids and the families. I mean, it's just just making it full circle now when I see guys like Arenado with his kid now and Goldie with his kids. And, Seager's got a new baby now. Jock's got a couple, 3 kids. I mean, it's just, just to watch how they grow, not only grow as people, number one, but, of course, as a player.
That's awesome. I love to hear that because, man, all those players, man, those are part of our childhood, man. And to see, like, we saw those guys when they were small too, like babies in the big leagues, and now they're just like, they just broke out. Some of them have MVPs, like I said. Some of them already got rings, all that stuff. So check us out, coach. Easy transition, all right? We're going to make a little transition easy. So let's get to the big league coaching side. When you start coaching the big leagues, all right? So, of course, you get to the Dbacks, Arizona Diamondbacks, and, man, even though me, coach, as a Dodger fan, big time Dodger fan, long time MLB fan, I still grew up with I still respect all teams no matter what, because I grew up with all these guys, like of course with your D-backs, I grew up watching Goldie, Pollock, um, all these guys, Nick Ahmed, even the pitching, like Robbie Ray, all these guys, and I remember so with the D-backs, how was that tenure for you with Arizona since that was your first big league team that you got to coach? Like, how was that basically for you? Like getting to get the feel of big league coaching. How was that? How was your time with that? With Arizona, the National League West, all that stuff. Like, how was that going for you?
Well, I think for one thing, it's like it was never my goal to be a big league coach. That was like, oh man,
Yeah.
I want to do this. I know, and I'm glad that people have those goals and everything. I was in Mobile, Alabama. I
Mm.
loved it. I was 20 minutes from my house, and that after that 2012 season, they brought me up as an extra coach just to kind of hang out and reward us for winning the championship because I had
Yeah.
some great players for 2 straight years. We
That's true.
won, and so being able to go up and do that, but it was never my goal. My goal was always to try see what I could do, get the most out of my players, and keep learning and growing as a person, as a player. And I think because of that, it just kind of created these opportunities. So me, I think just having a love and just passion for what I did, and I know that it related to guys. They could see that because it wasn't fake; it was real. It's
Yeah.
still
That's
real.
sick. I love that. I love that. That's sick. That's sick. Yeah. And even with the D-backs, so you gotta even be alongside coaching with Matt Williams, Kirk Gibson. I remember when Matt Williams was with the following year, 2014. I remember when he was with the Nationals, he became the manager there too.
Yep.
So yeah, check this out though, coach. So this is what I was trying to tell you because I guess again you could already figure out what I'm about to ask you. Little funny question to break the ice. So coach, we want to get an exclusive VIP point of view from you to the fans of that. I'm telling you, coach, when I was a kid, oh man, I loved it. It was just pure laughs, pure smiles, just laughing. Just, coach, we got to talk about this, all right? Bench is clearing. D-backs Dodgers. 2013. All right, coach. I'm just saying this simply because, again, like you said, because look, this is how, guys. So, of course, I think, guys, again, if you're a big baseball fan, part of that era, there was a really big brawl that happened. It had to do, of course, with Ian Kennedy, Zach Greinke, with the hit by pitches. So, guys, the reason why I'm talking about Coach Ward is because not that he was again. I'm not saying this to make fun of him because man, good times, good times. So there was a part where, of course, one of my OG relievers I grew up with, part of my childhood, of course, you guys know OG Dodger fans, JP Howell. There was a part where JP Howell just went loose on Coach Ward. he went he went
He
loose on the
did, man.
over.
He did.
It's like he almost pulled the you remember the OG fight, the one with Pedro Martinez and Don Zimmer. It's like, man, he did a Don Zimmer to you, JP Howell, with the guys. So I want Coach to take us to that day. Like, Coach, give us a point of view how that fight started. How did even JP Howell go to you right away? Like, give us a little point of view perspective of that fight.
I think, like, in those days now, I mean, you don't see too many brawls anymore, but uh, everybody's on the field. You're in contention for some maybe a bad situation. I learned to really put my head on the swivel after that, but it was really kind of funny. I know the stuff that was happening, and I can't remember everything. I mean, I know Puig got hit, Greinke, the back and forth thing. That's just baseball stuff,
yeah.
and it was just so when those benches cleared, and I'm just, I mean, it's like a mob coming at Adam Kennedy, and so I'm just kind of holding my ground right there just to kind of keep Ian, like everybody else, I'm keeping Ian safe or whatever, but. JP just came out of nowhere.
I remember that.
And then, he just came out of nowhere and he tried to dump me over the camera well and everything. Yeah. So when he did, we got to the bottom of the pile, and Miguel Montero is down there with me because he's trying to pull him off. So Miguel's like, just hold him right there, hold him right there. And, he's just punching him, and I can just hear JP go, oh, and I got I got my headlock around. I'm not going to let go. I'm in the bottom of this pile. People are just throwing haymakers, and I'm just trying to protect myself, keeping up. I'm not trying to hurt him or anything like that. I'm just holding him. Well, a lot of people don't know is Skip Schumacher. Now, we coached in St. Louis afterwards. Skip, which I didn't know at the time, he grabbed. I had my hair long at that time because our double A team. We just all the whole crew. We just let our hair go and just see what it's going to look like, and we won another championship. So it was like a thing for us. But anyway, so I got JP, and man, I just feel my just hair just getting pulled, and so anyway, things break up and everything, and it's just guys protecting guys, right? There's There's nothing against me or me, nothing against them. It was just guys trying to protect their teammates. And, I'm not trying to hurt nobody. I don't want to get hurt either. But so, when Skip got through, pulling my hair, and we all got up, and, there was some yelling going on and stuff like that. But I want to fast forward real quick because I came to the Dodgers the next year now. So I'm going to fast forward. The very first phone call, I asked some of you guys to give me JP Howell. So JP Howell, and he's told me, man, he goes, when I looked at that phone call and I go, oh my God, this is Turner Ward, he had a number. Turner Ward called him, and we just had a good laugh on it, and it was really cool kind of being with him that next year and us kind of connecting and everything and all of that. But now a few years later, I don't ever see Skip Schumacher. I see him in St. Louis. I mean, the next year in 19, because I'm with the Cardinals. I mean, with the Reds.
Yeah.
And he comes up to me. He goes, "Hey, man, I just want to apologize. I know it's been a while, but I was the one who grabbed your hair. I never knew it to that point. I'm not looking, going whose arms grabbing my hair or nothing like that. But you know what? It was funny to look at. Nothing's funny like that in the heat of the moment. But after the fact, you look at it and you go, man, that was kind of cool, pretty funny, and a good story.
I love that. That's awesome, guys. We just got our question answered we've had for years. A good perspective point of view. Oh man, you just made a lot of childhood dreams come true. Oh, I love that. So, hey, coach, might as well. So take us out. So we could transition might as well. So to the next team. Of course, guys, we're gonna break down hopefully the best out of it real quick. But coach, I think you could pretty much agree. I don't think this is really being biased, but like the Dodgers, man. The Dodgers, the Los Angeles Dodgers, the history they have. You gotta coach with them for 3 big league seasons from 16 through 18. You got to win 3 division titles with them, 2 National League pennants, and of course, sadly, we all know what happened, of course, but Coach Ward was just 1 win away from his first ring as a big league coach. 1 win away, 1 win away. But check us out, Coach. How about this, man? Getting to see those, like you said, I know we talked about it earlier, but man, just getting to see, you being a big key piece to Seager and Belly winning Rookie of the Year back to back, even Seager winning back to back Silver Slugger awards. Even you got to, this a little funny. The Dodgers got to three-peat those 3 years of home run derby participants, Seager, Belly, and Muncy. And of course, you got to throw to Muncy in the 2018 Derby in DC. And you even got to be part of the 2018 whenever the big trade happened with, the Dodgers acquiring Manny Machado. You got to be a part of a lot of those things. So, Coach, just like an easy summary, like just coaching the Dodgers, man, like that time. Can you say that the Dodgers, again, especially 2017, was that maybe like the most fun you had ever coaching baseball? Just seeing the history that was made all those years. What you got?
Well, Well, anytime you go into a new team, it's hard, man.
Yeah.
2016 was really
Yeah.
hard. You're trying to buy into a program, you're trying to build relationships and stuff like that. Then you kind of build those relationships. Man, the offense is starting to gel.
Mhm.
Man, it gelled in 17 and 18, and it was just a really, just great group. You got Puig and all his antics that he would do. Then we got Chase Utley, who was so
Yep.
serious, and man, he could bring things back to that seriousness and just kind of what he brought to the team from recognizing some other elements as far as
Mhm.
the tipping and stuff like that. That he was just a genius at. He just kind of helped even mold that even better. There were just so many good things that happened. To just end on a sour note twice was it was tough. But one of my greatest and saddest memories of the 17 season was Belly really struggled in that World Series.
I remember that. Yeah.
Houston's figured him out. They was spinning him a lot. And he was they just was attacking him a different way. And I say this all the time to all hitters, young hitters, is like the league is going to teach you what you need to get better. The pitcher's going to teach
Yep.
you the adjustments that you need to make. And we're at game 7 in that camera well, and I got my arm. So,
No, it's all right. It's all right.
but I got my arm around Belly, and he's in tears, and I'm in tears, and watching, what he did for our team that year,
Yep.
and him kind of feeling a weight of maybe disappointment because he didn't accomplish what he did or wanted to do, and just kind of sharing that moment with him is really, it was big for me because there's so many moments in the course of a season, so many guys. I can't tell you how many times I've been with guys and they're in tears, and people say, "Hey, there's no crying in baseball." No, man, this
We're
is a
human. We're
passion.
human. It's a
If you got
passion.
passion about something, there should be emotion. Now, emotion's not going to control us, but it can help move us. And I
Yep.
think that's kind of what it did for Belly. Because that next year he made some adjustments, and I told him right there I told him literally in that camera well. I said, "Man, you're going to learn from this, and you're going to be an MVP because of this." And kind of watching him from the distance then, and literally I got to go eat lunch or dinner over at his family's
Oh yeah.
with him and his wife and family like 2 weeks ago when I was in Arizona. But and just bringing up those memories, man. Now, I've got so many great memories of so many great guys, and it's just it's good to bring them back, and bring back some of the emotion of it.
I love that, man. That's something. No, because hey, Belly meant so much to us. Like I can't even show you this right here. Might as well. When he was in Chicago and was able to get to meet him, it's return to
Oh yeah.
LA. Because Belly was I'm not being biased, not just because you said it, but Belly was my guy. He meant a lot to me. Like I think that night, once I got it. He signed my jersey. It was special too because he signed my jersey, and not just he didn't just sign my jersey, but before a few years back past that, his father Clay got to sign that jersey too. So like you said, the family, beautiful people, man, down to earth, humble. And I think that same night, because Belly was always my favorite hitter since middle school, always my favorite player slash hitter. And man, that night when I went back to the hotel room, I think I did like Waterworks, man. Waterworks because he meant so much too. He meant a lot to Dodger Nation. He
Oh
meant so
yeah.
much. Like the what he did there, the Belly bombs. I think Kersh even gave him the nickname Blopper, right? Was it Blopper? I believe. Right, I'm
Bopper.
something like Bopper,
Yeah,
Bopper, Bopper, not Blopper.
Bopper.
Blopper's gonna be like, we're doing it all work, but yeah, then you got a good friend right here. So there we go. It's great. He's
Yeah.
awesome. I remember he told me too. He was like, "You got a pendant or what? What's up?" It was when I asked him something. Hey, speaking of autographs, too, coach, you might as well. I know. Check us out, coach. Don't make fun of me because this is years ago, years old. It's all faded, but yeah, check us out. This is an OG autograph from Coach Ward right there.
Oh
With the
yeah.
Romans
I
that
see.
night. So that's it right there, man. And check us out too. Your old friend got to sign this ball too. I don't know if it's in the right here. Bobby G, right there, all faded right
Okay,
there
there we
too.
go.
I'm telling you, coach, I'm telling you, like the reason why I did that, I might as well give the story for it. When you signed my ball that day, this was 27 back in 2017. Dodgers Padres in the summer. I don't remember that game exactly, of course, it was years ago, but I do remember though the Dodgers did come back. I remember Belly and JT did homer that day. I remember Seager hit a go-ahead double and it made them win the game. And I remember that day though, because I'm telling you, coach, when you're a big Dodger fan, you probably noticed it too. You even know the coaches, man. You know the coaches. You just might as
They
well, man. You know
do.
the,
Yeah.
you got to know the coaches, man. So I remember I'm right there trying to, little kid, me, 12-year-old me, trying to get my autographs, right there, right behind the dugout, and I'm like, that's Coach Turner Ward right there. I remember the profile resume all built buff, like that. So like that's him right there. So let me get my shot. I know I'm trying to give you a memory back. I know you're not, but it's all good. But I'm like, hey coach, Coach Ward, you saw my ball. You're like, I got you. Come on. I remember still vividly throwing the ball to you. You throwing it back to me, and I was like, oh man, because I think you're also my first ever autograph in MLB, first ever. So,
Oh,
but
that's
I
cool.
appreciate you for that. How about
Yeah,
that
man.
though? Do you have any good memories with like signing balls like that or getting recognized as a hitting coach with the Dodgers or anything public, or it was a little rare? Or like, how was that experience for you? Signing stuff, getting recognized. How was that for you in public?
I mean, I've lived in the same hometown most of my whole life. I go to LA and, man, I kind of almost felt bad for the players because they can't go anywhere. So us coaches, it's a little bit different. People
Yeah.
recognize and that's cool. But I guess I'm just so in tune to my job and what I'm doing, and it's a lot of hours. What people don't realize is like you're there probably before noon every day and you're there after 12 midnight a lot of times. So it's it's feels like a 24/7 job a lot of times because I mean, even when I'm back in my hotel room or back home sending video or talking or even going to eat breakfast with players on the road. I mean, it's just always it's something I love. If it's just something that's kind of you're really busy doing it.
That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, yeah. Because I'm telling you, coach, like, you're making a lot of us OG Dodger fans a little happy, man. Because of course, remember when you joined, alongside coaches. Of course, you were under Robert's wing, and then you were coaching with George Lombard, Chris Woodward, Rick Honeycutt, Tim Hires, all those guys. Steve Salati, the bullpen catcher. I got a selfie with them too. Once I was like, hey,
Well, I
Steve,
still
take a
talk. I
picture.
mean, still talk.
Yeah,
Tim Hires texted me
yeah.
yesterday. I was on the phone with George 3 days ago.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Bob Guerin, of course. Danny
Yeah.
would room with me during in L.A. when until his family came up for the summer and mine. So it was a close knit group of coaching staff as well.
I love that. That's awesome. I love that. And to finish off with the Dodgers questions real quick, then we'll transition. Because I think we could might as well get your perspective out of this. So when you fast forward to the 2018 season, little fun question, nothing too crazy, but do you kind of remember vividly? Because of course it was during because you were there. Well, you were there when it happened. Because of course you were coaching the All Star team too, correct? The NL All Star team that year, 2018.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
When we went to the
DC.
after the 17, not 18, because uh, I went to Cincinnati
Oh yeah,
for
yeah, yeah,
19. So
yeah.
I did it in an 18 All Star game. That's when Muncy, you know.
Yes, exactly. There we go. Yeah. So, do you remember vividly? Let's see if you remember. You give us your point of view perspective. You kind of remember the moment because I believe it did happen during the All Star game. Whenever the Dodgers traded for Machado, do you remember that little time, like that little perspective, point of view? Did you hear any inside scoop or sources, or when it was a done deal? Like, do you remember kind of anything of that?
Of what now?
The Manny Machado trade, the Manny Machado one, when the Dodgers acquired Manny.
Oh yeah, yeah, because he came up. He was there for that month and everything. He was awesome. I was in the
Yeah.
cage with him every single day. I probably mentioned his name to hitters a lot, probably maybe more than I should. Of course, he's they called him we the nickname was Snow Leopard. Have you ever heard him? Have you
Snow.
ever heard that nickname for him?
Snow Leopard. You know what's funny? The only nickname I've heard of Manny is the common one, the Minister, El Ministro in Spanish, the Minister of the infield. But the Snow Leopard, you got to give us the context now. Snow
The
Leopard.
Snow Leopard
Let's
is
see.
like. Have you ever seen a snow leopard?
Oh, Snow Leopard. No, I've heard of it, but never seen it. No, I've
Okay,
heard of it. Yeah,
but I
exactly.
mean,
Yeah,
you might go to a zoo or what, but you don't see snow. I mean, in other words, he's a rare breed. I mean,
exactly,
that's
exactly. Yeah,
he
never
is
seen one.
just the rarity in the game from his arm to his bat, to his defense, and so that nickname came from Baltimore
Oh
into
yeah, yeah,
LA.
yeah.
So that was the first thing I said to him. So what's up, Snow Leopard? So. But no, man, he was unbelievable to work with. Same dude every single day. Had his little routine that he liked to do. Kept it very, very simple. And I really thought he was going to be a Dodger. I kind of thought he,
Yeah.
he liked it. Of course, he liked the West Coast, so he ended up going, of course, San Diego. But I thought he
Mhm.
was going to be a Dodger.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's true. Yeah, because I know he kind of like you can tell he did want to from his post and all that. But yeah, might as well too, coach. Because man, like you too, as a hitting coach with the Dodgers, like you had so many special postseason moments that Dodgers had with clutch moments. Like you could go back to 2016 against the Nationals when John hit that go ahead homer. You can go to 2017 when, of course, when Kiké hit the 3 homers. Whenever then of course following to the World Series with Seager. I know that game didn't win, but still go ahead clutch homer. Even Belly's homers, you got to transition to, and in
Yeah.
Houston as well, Belly's clutch doubles, all that stuff. And then
Well,
fast forward.
I'll give you a little quick inside story with
Yeah.
Kike. It's really
Oh,
cool because
might as well, please. You're getting ahead of me. I love it, man. You're getting. Thank you.
well, Kike, he's a great fastball hitter, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he was known for it. And the league, tried to figure him out really quick with the secondary. I mean, they was really trying to, just overexpose him with secondary. Man, he worked so hard, whether it was the curveball machine or me just trying to throw filthy McNasty to him in the cage, not breaking my arm. But he got to where sometimes he would be able to sit on these pitches and stuff. And so we're in the World Series against Boston, and Kimbrel's coming up, and I
Yeah.
do all the game planning, and
Yeah.
and I'm the one talking with the guys about the pitcher coming in or whatever, that kind of stuff. What you think? And so Kike asked me, he goes, "What you think?" I said, "What you think?" He goes, "He's going to throw me a first pitch curveball." I go, "Yep." And it's not going to be as good when he's going to throw the first pitch curveball, try to get it over for a strike, and then he's going to, probably try to elevate you fastballs.
Yeah.
And Brett, I said, "Man," he goes, "You think I should sit on it?" I'm like, "Heck yeah, sit on that curveball." Man, he sits on that curveball. It's really a proud moment for me, for him, not for me, but proud for watching him, guy that throws 98, to go up there and sit on his curveball, and not only that, take him deep for a homer. I mean, and we know Kike, he's had great playoffs all in the past.
Yep.
I mean, Chicago. I mean, with the Puerto Rico was going through a hurricane, and and the owner told him if he hits another one in the game, if you hit another one, I'll send $1 million over. I mean, just those moments like that, and watching like players develop, because it's not just the swing, man. It's the mind too, and kind of watching how these guys develop and mature as hitters. Of course, is some of my proud moments.
I love that. That's awesome. Oh man, yeah, because I do remember that game. I do remember. I believe it was in LA. I don't know if it was in Boston, because I do remember that game when Kike hit the homer off of Kimbrel in the World Series in 18. It was that same game whenever Puig had hit the 3-run homer too off of off the lefty. I forgot what his name was. Oh, Eduardo
Yeah,
Rodriguez. Eduardo Rodriguez. Erod. Yeah, it was that game. Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, and then a little bit fast forward to that, and then of course, like, you could tell us real quick too your experience, because again, you're a key piece to it. Of course, the clutch homer of Muncy in the 18th inning off of I always forget his name. Former
who
Dodger too,
cares?
of course. Yeah,
Who
yeah,
cares?
exactly. Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, how many
yeah,
innings was that? 18.
yeah. 18 innings, exactly.
Yeah,
Give us
yeah,
your
man.
perspective on that. Like, were you just telling Muncy, hey, this or that? Like, what was your mentorship to that?
No. I mean, sometimes I mean, there's so much I can't go. You think about me, and I know you probably thinking, "Man, you got to remember all these moments," but
Evaldi,
you know,
Nathan Evaldi.
it's
There
a
you go.
game. I mean, you're having so many conversations in the middle of a game, and from one AB to the next, and everything. But uh, you just remember more the moments than the actual words. A lot of times, and so it's like being able to experience through them what they do, and knowing how hard it is, and how the moments can be so huge, and them to come through in those moments, man, it's just I mean, I become a fan myself, you know.
I love that, man. That's awesome. That's good. That's good. And one last Dodger question, and then we'll transition. Would you be able to agree that Dodger Stadium fans have the best, loudest energy, or what can you top on that? What do you think?
I think like it's probably the best place to come and watch a ball game. Okay, so
I love that.
but just because of the entertainment, it goes from the who's going to sing that national anthem that day, to who's going to be for us, even for the coaches and players, who's going to come to the locker room. Is it going to be Kobe Bryant today?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Is it
it's
going to be
true.
Will Ferrell, Toby Keith? I mean,
Yeah.
all these guys were just were just the normal around there. So that was cool. I mean, of course you got Magic Johnson there, but the
Owner.
entertainment, the venue of coming there, and the music and what they do to bring the entertainment to the game of baseball, they are second to none.
So, man, that's, oh man, guys. Again, if you haven't gone to Dodger Stadium, please bucket list. top energy there. I have no words for it. Coach Ward is, of course, Coach Ward was on the sidelines when it was happening, the dugout. So you gotta listen to him, please. So, so we try, and then of course we transitioned a bit too right after that. Of course, your Dodgers tenure is over. You go to Cincinnati. You go to Cincinnati for a year, just 1 year, but hey, you still got you got to witness lore too. You got to witness. You got to like be a key piece too with Eugenio Suarez. I know he hit like a crazy bunch of homers that year. I do remember that. You even got to be a good piece too with Derek Dietrich, Joey Votto even. And of course, you got to reunite with some former Dodgers too, of course, with Matt Kemp, even Kyle Farmer. And of course, a big one we got to talk about your best friend, Yasiel Puig. We can't forget about that, man. Hey, coach, we got to go from the Dodgers, all the pucker up kisses, then we got to go to defending him when the benches were clear, holding on to him, being the peacemaker. How was your relationship with Puig, man? Are you guys still connected to this day? Like, how was that, man? You guys just got so close. How'd that happen?
We don't have enough time to get everything with this guy.
Exactly.
I'm serious. Honestly, and I say this, I treat a lot of guys like my son. I say this, but truly, man, Puig, we would go to Dave and Buster's. He would go with my family. Well, I remember when we first met, into spring training, and just having to. His communication was not that great at that time.
Yeah.
Manny Machado was there to help translate
translate,
a lot of things. So I spent a lot of time with Manny and Puig and everything. And he introduced me. This is funny because he introduced me to his fiance. And I said, so when he was going up there to introduce me, I said, "Oh, you must be Puig's sister." I said because there's no way someone as pretty as you could be dating a guy like this.
The classic
But anyway,
the classic one. Yeah.
We hit it off pretty good, but kind of real quick on just from the hitting standpoint, Puig, he hit the ball hard on the line, right? I mean, it was so hard on the line, but he kind of had a steep swing. So we just did this one simple drill, and his goal that year was to hit 20 homers. So that's what he wanted to do. That was his goal. And so we kind of set for that goal. And all I did was do this one, like a front hip drill, a drill that I love. People hear me say it a lot, but it just does so much. But anyway, I think in June he hit his 20th homer. I mean, it was really early. July, I can't remember. You might know the dates or anything.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is where the kiss come from. I mean, he just was so excited. He hit his 20th homer, so he just came in and gave me a big kiss. Well, there's no kissing in baseball, So I'm like, man, I'm kind of shocked. Here's this guy, this big old guy come up and give me a kiss in the middle of a baseball game. And but then it just became like the almost like a good luck charm, I think, from that sense. It's like it was really his way. He was a kind of a touchy-feely hug guy, anyway. But he it was just kind of his way of his expression, kind of what he was doing. So we're in Cincinnati now, and he hits 3 homers. Right, first homer comes, he kisses me on the left cheek. Next homer, he comes and he kisses me on the right cheek. Next time, he grabs me like that, like no, this ain't happening. But man, he was so much fun, and we were brutally honest with each other. We were really, I was really hard on him, from
because you care.
because I cared. I mean, I cared about his life. I mean, baseball was just his way of getting out of the place he was, and but really trying to mentor him and stuff. And I mean, he'll still send me a message every now and then. I'll message him to see how he's doing. So, but he was a huge, I don't know, like memory maker.
Oh, for sure.
That I will just kind of treasure for a long time, of course, and love to share them.
I love that, man. That's awesome. I love that. You're making a bunch of us childhood Dodger fans happy, man. Awesome. I love that. So then we transition. You go to St. Louis. You go to St. Louis for 3 seasons, and you got to mentor, coach a lot of MVPs, future Hall of Famers. Like, of course, you got to reunite with Goldie as well. You got to you got to witness him being an MVP, NL MVP. Then, of course, you got to work with Nolan Arenado. I know he's not just good with the glove, but of course with the bat as well. Then, of course, you got to work with even Yadier Molina in his last couple of years when he was going to retire. And then, of course, honorable mentions. You got to mentor, coach a lot of the future generation. Of course, you got to work with Tommy Edman, Nolan Gorman, Jordan Walker, Tyler O'Neill, Mason Wynn. Again, we talked about it earlier, Brendan Donovan. You even got to a little bit of his prime too, Wilson Contreras. Like St. Louis, how was that time for you, man? Like St. Louis, you need to win all these good historic franchise too.
It was great. After that the year 19 and then it was COVID. So I just decided just not to coach, just hang
Hmm.
out with my
Little
family
break,
and
yeah,
everything and do that. And then Oliver Marmol called me
yeah.
in that off season of 22 before the 22 season, and just asked if I interview me, asking we went through the interview process, and come to find out, Goldie said, "Hey man, you ought to talk to this guy and
Oh,
see
that's
if
my
interview him."
old friend right
So
there.
yeah, thank you, Goldie.
Oh,
but
it's your old friend, yeah.
man, my time there was great, and we did have a lot of young players. We like from that first year. I mean, of course, you had Albert there. You think like Goldie and Arenado had some time in, but then you look at Yachty and Albert is like, man, these guys are rookies compared to what what these guys have done in the game and what they're doing. But um, I'm probably always biased a little bit to the young players just because I know how the struggle is. But the struggle is no different from anybody from the 700 homer guy Albert Pujols who's still being coached to the young Jordan Walker who
Mhm.
if he when he figures it out is going to be a superstar.
Yeah.
So then you have all in between. But you know I always thought from, when you start looking at Dodger Stadium in St. Louis, I mean, the fan base is just kind of different. St. Louis was more kind of I don't know, a baseball city, So
Mhm.
you have guys on visiting teams. I mean, I remember one time I made a dive and play in the outfield in St. Louis, and the fans are cheering me. I was like, "What? I mean, you don't have that any other place,
Yeah.
in baseball." So, those two cities, being a part of that is for me now looking back is what I can look back and say, be really proud that I was able to participate and be a part of these organizations that I've been so blessed to be with.
I love that. That's awesome. And then, of course, to top the cherry on the top of that with St. Louis, because you could tell us too might as well, real quick. You got to witness even Albert Pujols' 700th homer, and of course, it was at your old ballpark, Dodger Stadium. Can you give us a little time with that, and real quick, like easy, like how you got to witness that, the mentorship to Albert, like how that happened, the 700 homers, getting to witness that.
I don't think it was just like being able to witness that one, but witnessing the moments all the way. Um, it was like watching a movie, and then the
Yeah,
way it transpired in LA, one of the probably the biggest cities of entertainment in the world, and to watch him do it there. But and maybe someone watching this might be able to confirm it or something. But I believe I'm probably the only person who's probably seen Hank Aaron live hit a homer, a 700 plus homer, and Albert Pujols see him live hitting a because I don't know who else been maybe old enough to be around that time, but I really treasure that because Albert is such an inspiration, and what he
yeah.
did for that team at the end of his year, and to go out the way he did, and me as a fan, as a coach, as a player, to be able to watch him and watch what he did and how he did it every single day in the cage. People would be amazed. Young hitters would be amazed to watch Albert Pujols and the amount of line drives to the back screen that he would hit.
Yeah.
And all I see nowadays is these guys trying to hit the top of the cage and get launch angle. When the greatest home run hitter of our generation, your generation, even with Bonds, I'm going to throw Bonds in there, because of course the greatness that he has. But watching Albert in the cage every single day and how he worked was uh, moments that I could share for the rest of my life.
Awesome, man. That's because you got to witness someone's greatness, someone's history. Like, man, it's Albert Pujols, guys. Come on, it's Albert Pujols, man. But check this out, guys. Check this out. So we're almost done here. We got a little bit. We got about 10 minutes left. So, real quick, Coach, we got a few more questions. Actually, people ask real quick, easy, quick questions. Well, one question I had one for myself, real quick. Then we'll get to the easy couple fan questions. Like, end of the story too, Coach. Real quick. Out of all this, your history with baseball, coaching, playing it, because of course I did my research too, by the grace of God, of course. Because I remember when I seen when you signed my ball, you wrote the Bible verse, Romans 10:9. I did my research that you're a firm believer in God as well. By the grace of God, myself as well, I got a relationship with Jesus. I love him. How about that? Easy, coach. How has your relationship with Jesus been able to translate you in the baseball world? Easily.
Well, I think I could probably say one word that covers all of it,
Yep.
and I think it's love,
Amen.
right?
I love that. I love
Uh,
that.
because if you don't really understand where true love came from, this agape love, this unconditional love, it's like I don't have a condition to love you. I love you because of who you are.
Mhm.
And I think that you, and well, I know I could only experience that because of the love of Jesus and the love of God in my life. So because of that, because I understand where that love is, I feel like I'm able to share it. I think because of that love and that caring that I have, that it helps me with players because they know they can trust me. And I think this probably would be the worst possible trait to ever have, is to be untrusted as a coach, as a person, as a father, as a husband. I think that one word kind of covers it all for me.
I love that. Amen. That's beautiful, guys. That's awesome. Because hey, guys, hey, I'm telling you guys, I'm not trying to be biased, but God's favorite sport is baseball. I don't care what y'all say. All right, so so
You know
hey,
why though, right?
why is that? Why is that?
Well, it's God's favorite sport because the first few words in the Bible, now the very first words in the big inning.
That's true. Oh man,
So
hey, I never thought about that. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Hey, I gotta
now
take
you
that.
can use it.
Put it as
Now
a
it's
clip.
yours.
Oh
You
no,
can
no,
own it
that's dope.
now.
No, I'm giving Coach Ward the quick guys. Coach Ward told me this. I love that, man. That's awesome. So check us out, Coach. I got easy, quick questions before we end this. From we had some fans that asked some questions. So check us out, Coach. One easy question, actually, from your past experience. I know you get asked this all the time, but you could give it to us real quick point of view. Because I remember me too. Easy story, Coach. When I was a kid, when I first fell in love with baseball, I would watch so many highlights, OG, even before I was born, or past teams, whatever. Of course, your common classic one, that sick, beautiful running catch you did through the wall with Pittsburgh, with Mike Piazza hitting. How did you track the ball? What was your experience like with that, man? Give us a little quick point of view on that one.
I'm gonna give you the pregame because we're
Oh,
actually
okay.
in the gym. I used to comment all the time, and man, I'd run through the wall uh, to catch a ball, and so we're in the gym, in our weight room pregame, and Jason Smith's talking to
Yeah,
Lieber,
Mr. Smith.
and and they're saying, man, Turner would run through a wall to catch the ball, blah blah blah, I just felt like the defense wasn't out there. It wasn't for me. It was for my pitcher that was on the mound, and so when Mike, Piazza hit that ball, I knew within a few steps I was going to hit that ball as hard as I could. I also knew how many steps it took me once I hit that hard rubber to where I was going to hit the wall. I had practiced running into that wall every single stadium that I've ever been to because my coach showed me, goes, man, you need to know how many steps. So when you jump, you'll know, so I practiced it. I don't know how many times. So I knew I was going to hit it. I knew I was going to hit it really hard. I just didn't know I was going to go through it. But if you go back and watch that video, and I like to share this because I never took my eye off the ball. No matter how hard I was going to hit that wall, I didn't really think it was going to hurt. But when I did, I mean, I was just watching, and I was making sure I was going to put this other hand because I knew I was going to hit the wall, and I wanted to make sure I didn't drop it when I did. So when I went through the wall, there was runners on first and third, and it was a blowout game. We was getting beat pretty bad. And only thing I thought was I don't want that guy on first base to score on a sac fly. So, and I knew I hurt my elbow bad, when I hit the concrete. I thought I broke it. And so I was getting out and I was thinking, do I throw it lefty? Do I try to kick it in? Do I, so I just gave my best shoulder throw. And so that's kind of the backstory and the story behind it.
It's easy. So again, most common question you get, but I feel like with today's generation, the game of baseball has changed so much, from when you guys were playing ball to us right now. And so to you, to right now, the year 2026, what is the easiest, most common way, simple, just to get recruited when it comes to hitting for scouts to see you with college offers, even draft offers, my free all that stuff. What is the easiest simple tip you can give to a young ball player, our generation right now? Easy, simple. What do scouts look at?
I think the biggest part is like the barrel accuracy.
No,
And
obviously, yeah.
okay, so
Chris
you
Taylor,
know,
barrels are overrated.
yeah, really it is. I mean, the swing and miss has kind of had its era, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's still going to be swing and miss because we got guys. I mean, we got some nasty pitchers,
Yeah.
but the competitive hitters. Look at Brendan Donovan.
Yep.
Look at like Mason Wynn. Look at
Yep.
oh gosh, I've got Jack Wilson in
Yep.
Oakland now. I mean,
Yeah.
you're starting to see now, the guys that kind of can have more competitive ABs, and what that means for me is the share for guys is like get your body under control.
Yeah.
You know, don't not trying to do too much, not trying to see how far you can hit it, but maybe seeing how square you can hit it. Because a guy like Albert Pujols, that's what he did every single day that I saw him for a whole year, every single day. And of course, he got up there and got close on the machine and did some other stuff. But I mean, he worked on getting backspin, low line drives. If you can do that, it's the hardest thing to do in baseball. Then when you miss clip one, you drive it. Now you got maybe the damage that you want. So really try to practice on the accuracy, low backspin line drives.
That's awesome. Yeah, because of course when I was trying to, of course as a kid, obviously you have that dream growing up playing high school ball and all that, to make it to the show. Of course, like me, like I've always been a small, short guy. And to me, I always thought, okay, I know I'm not gonna be a home run hitter. So if I were to get recruited, I gotta work on my contact, just a contact hitter. Base hit after base hit after base hit. Because hey, of course, scouts, coaches love that too. They love if you could just put the ball in play. If you could just love to hit it, you can just, low line drives, just base hit after base hit. They're gonna see that. They're gonna love that. And because I remember when I maybe you agree on this quote, easy tip. They say, our high school coach, he would always tell us, you want to know how you hit the curveball? You have to hit the fastball. Is that true? Is that true? What's your thought? What's your thought on that one?
No, I mean that's a great thing. I know that
Yeah.
saying's been around a long time. The way
Yeah.
I've heard it is if you don't want to if you can't hit the curveball, don't miss the fastball. So it's just a little variation of that, but
Yeah.
it is true. We need to be fastball hitters
Yeah.
as we mature. Of course, we have to learn to hit other styles of pitching. I mean, the big league hitters, the guys that hang around, they have multiple toolboxes as far as what they can do and handle the bat and what they're thinking up there. But yeah, just being able to sometimes just being able to make contact is a win.
Yeah, there we go. And growing up too, of course, growing up too, you're always taught like to swing the bat like if you're like chopping a tree. Is that true, or are we gonna debunk that right now? Well, what's that? What's that
That
theory
that's
like?
more that's more like a feel than what's
Feel
really
right?
happening. Okay,
Okay.
so I know plenty of guys, plenty of them, man. I just want to feel like I'm chopping down. When the
Yeah.
reality is they're just getting on plane early
Yeah.
back here. So there's nothing wrong with that feel.
Mhm.
There's nothing wrong with some of the I know some of the older generation guys when they talk hitting, they get kind of abused by that. But man,
Mhm.
it's a feel. And I think that there's nothing wrong with it. That's why I think you got to be able to coach the feel and the real, the cues of what they need to think about what they need to do compared to kind of what their body's doing and moving or how it's moving.
I love that. That's true. That's all true. That's awesome. I love that. And perfect timing. We got one last question, and that's it. Yeah, we're done. So, Coach, we like to keep this tradition when it comes to the Dodger Dogs pod. We like to keep this tradition question easy, simple question because I guess this question just changed the baseball world when it happened. Because this happened when you were coaching with St. Louis. So, can you tell us? It's an easy, fun question, just to give your perspective, point of view. Can you tell us your reaction or what you were doing whenever you got the news that Shohei Ohtani had signed with the Dodgers? Do you remember that vividly or not really? Can you give us a little
I
of?
mean, no, I mean, I honestly, like for me, I don't get caught up in a lot of the trade stuff
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
sense of or where guys are going because I have to be so concerned with
yeah.
what's going on with me. But I will tell you when he went to Anaheim, when I seen Otani, when I saw him first, and I seen that big leg kick and that move, what he did to move forward, I was like, this is going to be very difficult, in this
Okay.
league. But I was interested, not knowing that heck, he could have survived or done that, but I hadn't seen a lot of success with like that, except for a guy like Justin Turner.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it's a very hard move to kind of maintain. But when I saw him, making these adjustments and what he was
Mhm.
doing, I was like, wow, this guy's uh, going to be unbelievable. He already was. He already
Oh
is.
yeah.
And I think as hitting coach, you always kind of go back to guys and how they move and what they do. I can't help it. It's my son gets mad at me sometimes. He's playing in JUCO, but I can't help it because it's just kind of my natural way of seeing things, how guys move and what they do really well.
Man, no, that's true. That's true, man. I love that's man. Like, coach, you nailed this whole episode. You beat me to so many things I was gonna ask you already. It's like if the Lord give you like, hey, Eddie's gonna ask this, so get ready. Like, you killed it, man. You man, you nailed it. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, thanks for
So yeah,
having me.
no,
I
but
had a
yeah,
lot
but
of
hey
fun.
guys, thank you, hey guys, check us out though. Like I said, it's perfect timing. But coach, we want to say thank you, guys. We are finished with this episode. But guys, check us out, guys. Coach Ward is continuing the tradition as well. We've had minor leaguer. We've had his old friend Cole Roberts. We've had him on here. We've had old coach. We had former Red Sox bullpen coach Kevin Walker, and we got another MLB hitting coach Turner Ward. Guys, the next tradition, God willing, is we're gonna get a big leaguer. All right, keep us in prayer. We're gonna get a big leaguer soon. All right, we're gonna keep that tradition. All right. So, guys, want to thank you once again, Coach. Again, you made a lot of us OG Dodger fans happy. You fulfilled a lot of our questions. You still have this hoodie by any chance, Coach, or no?
Oh man! Oh heck yeah!
Oh,
I
that's
got all
awesome.
my memorabilia from there, and I try to keep my kids like they got. I kept stuff when I played. My kids like wearing my stuff way back, so
Wow,
I
man,
keep
you
that
have to. You have
stuff. It's
to.
just cool to have, you know.
It's all vintage. It's all vintage stuff, man. So, because this was the year. This was the year. We know why. We know if you know, you know. But this is the year from our mind. All right. So yeah. But hey, guys, we want to thank you once again. Thank you guys for watching, Coach. Again, we thank you. We honor you. And guys, I'm excited for you guys to watch this one. You're gonna have a lot of fun. All right. But hey, you guys take care. God bless, and y'all have a good one. All right. So y'all
Thanks,
take
man.
care.